All right, everybody, welcome back. Good afternoon, and we've got more edge rushers to look at still. Still a bunch more. We're still in day 3, of course, but still some intriguing talents. Certainly not the upper level athletes that you find at the top, but we still got to go through these guys and figure out who's worth taking. So, going to start with a 5th round guy, approximately projected, Tyler Barron. Tyler Barron of the Miami Hurricanes, 23. A little bit lean, little on the taller side, 258. Should be fine. I'm not too worried about it. Arm length is passable, 33 and an eighth. His testing numbers were actually quite good. Fast, 4.6 240, 161 10-yard split. His explosiveness came in pretty strong, almost a 3-foot vertical and a 10-foot broad. So he's got the traits, actually. He really does. Big boards are all over the place. A couple have them in the 2nd or 3rd round, and some have them in like the 7th. The aggregate has him in the 5th, like I said. He's been pretty productive the last couple years. Not over the top amazing, but he gets a lot of pressures. We're talking about, 90 combined pressures over the last 2 years. 11 and a half sacks, 22 tackles for loss. So putting up the nice numbers. He's got the flexibility to play with his hand in the dirt or play standing up. So if you're running a hybrid defense, he's going to be really valuable. He's really good at sneaking through little holes to find backfield opportunities, really good at shooting small gaps. Could bulk up and slide inside at least part-time. I think he might have the ability to be a guy who slides inside on passing downs. He also seems pretty high IQ. Seems like he knows how to diagnose plays and read where the play is going. So I like all that. I feel like he's got low contact balance and he ends up on the ground too much because of it. He doesn't really have a lot of power or strength. He can't really win those mano-a-mano battles. Occasionally abandons his run assignment to chase the quarterback. And while he can get to the quarterback with, like, how should I put this? It's almost like he gets to the quarterback through smarts. He doesn't really do it with, like, pass rushing moves like skill or speed. He's not really a speed rusher. So he's got a good understanding of what's going on. He seems to have a good football mind. I don't know if he has the physical traits to truly take advantage of it. I don't think there's enough here physically. It's not bad, but I think it's just a little bit lacking. I think he belongs in the league, certainly, but mostly his depth. I'd go about 5th round on him. I think 5th round's about right for Mr. Tyler Barron. And yeah, I'm roughly in line with the aggregate here. I think that's about where this player should ultimately land. So let's move on to our next guy here. Tyler Batty, another Tyler here, BYU. Like many BYU players, he's coming into the league at an old age, 25. Always worth noting. Very tall and 271, which is pretty heavy for an edge, but it's very light for a defensive lineman. We'll see where he ends up. Batty might end up might end up gaining weight and sliding inside, might end up as a 5 tech, another one of those tweener guys. Pretty long arms, 33 and an eighth. It's okay. The testing numbers were good for an interior offensive lineman. Less good for an edge rusher. I'll put it to you that way. 4, 7, 8, 40, 169, 10-yard split. That makes me feel like he'll be better off sliding inside at least some of the time to take advantage of his height by adding on where he can kind of offset his weaknesses as a potential player. Big boards, a couple actually had him in the 7th, but the aggregate has him in the 5th. Not huge production the last couple years, but it's pretty good. A lot of pressures. 75 pressures over the last 2 years. 16 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. Nothing over the top great, but workable for sure. So he's done both in college in terms of standing and putting his hand in the dirt. He's got experience doing both. He's willing to chase plays across the field. He's willing to cover a lot of ground. High effort. He's got strong hands that allow him to win engagements in the trenches. He's got a little bit of pass rush bend as well, which is part of the reason why he might work at edge. He's got that bend to get underneath tackles. And he's really good at converting speed to power, even though he himself is not overly fast, his ability to convert speed to power does stand out. But he has limited room to improve because he's already 25, doesn't have the first step quickness desired, doesn't really shoot out of his stance, doesn't have muscle or power to hold up, which is why part of me thinks that he needs to add some and become an interior player. He's mostly ineffective when trying to use pass rush moves. It's not like he doesn't have them, it's just they're segmented and slow. And in general, I don't know if the skill set is really here for him to be an edge player in the NFL. So I'm a little unclear where this guy ends up. But I do feel like he's going to be... I feel like he's going to find a place where he can be effective. Whether it's slim up and be an edge, or be a 5-tech, or gain weight and be a 3-tech, or, some combination of those things. I think he'll find a way to be successful. I'd go late 4th round on here. I'm going to be a little bit overzealous, and I hate doing it because he's already 25, but late 4th. Okay, next guy is going to be Quay Robinson. Quay Robinson, his first name's much longer than that, but everyone calls him Quay, or maybe they call him Q, I don't know, but Robinson of Alabama, very, very undersized. He's practically in off-ball linebacker size, 243, very, very slim, but he's got height, so he can add weight if he really needs to. Arm length is about average, and most of the big boards, major big boards, put him in about the 4th, but the aggregate puts him in the 5th. Not a bunch of production over the last couple of years, if we're being honest. 2024 was the first year he was actually playing a significant role on the defense for Alabama, and he was only a spot player. He wasn't a starter or anything. He wasn't a guy who played a ton of the game. The year before that, he was mostly a special teamer. So, decent length, 33.5 inches. Pretty decent length. He's got a frame to add some weight if he needs to, which I think he will, one way or the other. 243 is tough. He has good open field movement skills. He's able to keep up with elusive players. He has the reactive athleticism that you desire. He's got speed and quickness to get the edge. It's not tremendous, but it's good enough. He's actually pretty good out of his stance, pretty good getting the corner, and he's got tons of experience on special teams squads. So even if he's not good defensively, and I think he is what he is defensively, I do think he will be a good special teamer, so there is going to be some added value there. Now, the other side of this is he's weak against the run, and at this size, it's not really a mystery why. He's not good against the run at all. Often seems like a little bit more of a linear athlete than he is someone who is like a really good all-around athlete, somebody that can really just throw themselves around. Very little experience playing on defense. It's hard to imagine him not adding weight and being successful in the NFL. And some people even think he'll end up as an off-ball linebacker rather than putting on weight. Maybe his skill set would be better suited for the off-ball linebacker spot. So there's a lot that needs to go right with Robinson to make this work. I don't think you can get too amped up about this one personally. I don't think there's really a lot here with Robinson. I think that you got to be a 7th rounder, and you're probably looking at converting him, changing his position, and asking him to do things he's never done before, and you don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He could be, but you're starting from the ground up almost, it feels like, because it's not like he played a ton in Alabama either. He was not a featured player last year for them. He was very much a part-time player. And right now, the main thing that you're getting out of Robinson is his ability to play on special teams. All right, so that's it for him. We got one more guy for this video. We've got Rucker. Rucker of North Carolina, the Tar Heels, 23, very, very short, which again, can be very fun. 6'1", 254 pounds, so he's not undersized necessarily, he's just short. Arms are a little short though, 32 and 5/8. Not what you're looking for. He did crank out the bench press reps at least, but again, he has a easier time doing it. Big boards, we got some 4th, we got some 5th. Aggregate puts him in about the 5th, starting to edge into the 6th a little bit. Good production for the Tar Heels the last 2 years, although his 2023 was significantly better. He played more. 2024, he could have been a much more prolific player, but he didn't get a chance to play as much. He got hurt. half the pressures, fewer sacks, half the tackles for loss, half the tackles total. So kind of disappointing. So the things I like about Rucker, he's stocky with a solid build. Again, that stuff can be very fun and it can work surprisingly well in the NFL. He's slippery and hard to get blocks on. He just has this innate ability to slide off blockers. It makes me think of Collegiate Cansey a couple years ago. Obviously nowhere near that good, but that's the kind of trait I'm talking about, where it's just really hard to get a clean shot on him. He's got good reactive athleticism, allows him to hang with players in the open field. So if he has to try to wrangle up a ball carrier who's being elusive, he can keep up. And he's a good tackler as well. Good, firm tackler, hard hitter, does those things that you're looking for. Now, he is undersized, has a big length disadvantage, hard to get around that. Does get pushed around against the run. Hard to imagine him not being a guy who's a liability against the run in general. And as of right now, he doesn't have a lot of pass rushing moves in his bag. It's a limited collection of moves he has to actually shake free, so he wins mostly just on his just innate slipperiness more than any particular ability or skill, it feels like. So he's pretty fun. I like his compact build. I like his fundamentals. I like his instincts. But at the end of the day, what is he but a rotational piece that can play a little bit on passing downs only? I don't know if there's much more than that. Maybe if he played a healthy 2024 and had a season that built on his 2023 success, we'd feel differently. I don't know. I'm kind of more in the 7th round with this one overall, but I'm a little open to reconsidering here just because I do think this is largely informed by him not matching his expected production going into 2024. So, I don't know. I initially put 7th round. I could be talked into a little bit higher, but he just has a lot of issues to work through here. Okay, that's it for this video. See you guys later. Go Hawks.